Welcome back. So I have a stack of larger items that I've been meaning to get to. Pretty much all PC and just a wide variety of stuff. And it's basically all eBay purchases. I've just been really searching for some unique items to add to the larger collection. But first, let me go over a book that I purchased. It was like $6, very inexpensive. But given my departure into different areas of Jewish history and the autos from different aspects of Jewish and Israeli history, I wanted to pick this book up because there's a bunch of examples of autos. It has really nice bios on each. And some of these you've either already seen or you will be seeing in the future. And some that I will probably never see. Dreyfus signature I'll probably never see, at least in my own hands. Eli Cohen, probably never see one of those in my hands. So there's a nice variety of different signatures. So it's a big book of Jewish autographs, and it's divided into sections. So you have a whole Zionist section, which is, you've seen a lot of these signatures, not all by any means. Some you've seen already, some you will see. The Americans again, some you will see, some you won't, just because they're way beyond my means. And then there's a whole section on signers of the Israeli Declaration of Independence, which is a really unique setup. And it's a really nice, quick resource guide for all the different signatures. So if you just kind of flip to this section, it'll give you a whole rundown of political party, of different things, and then it goes right into the different signatures very briefly, and where someone may have been listed somewhere else, it abbreviates that. So again, a very interesting book if this is an area that you want to kind of delve into or it's just of interest. Definitely pick this up. You can find it very inexpensively on eBay, and I think it's a little bit more on Amazon, but it's not too bad. But I've seen multiple copies on eBay. It's probably your best bet for a good deal. So, now that we have a book about signatures, let's look at some actual signatures. So starting off, one that you've seen quite a few times already, Ralph Kiner, this time in a Cleveland Indians uniform. Inexpensive. His autos are $5, basically. It's kind of insane for a Hall of Fame auto. This one was a unique one, and you may not recognize it, but it's actually Richard Dreyfus. Kind of delving into the Jews and entertainment field, if you will. But it was inexpensive, very simple signature. Again, it kind of gives a good example of time and place, and just figured I'd pick it up on the cheap. Expanding things out a little bit of Jewish American politicians, you have Frank Lautenberg from New Jersey. And this is basically someone, he talks about a little bit about his day-to-day job of being the senator from New Jersey. And this one is very interesting. So this is a letter from Samuel Lewis, who was the U.S. ambassador to Israel from 1977 to 1985. And Samuel Lewis was on the U.S. side, one of the people that really pushed to get the Camp David Accords done, and did so in 1978. And this particular letter talks about his work in Israel and the peace process and the current situation with Lebanon. So, fascinating 2-page letter written during his time as U.S. ambassador to Israel. Next up, we have Shmuel Tamir, who is Minister of Justice from 77 to 80, and was also an Irgun fighter, and participated in the bombing of the British tax offices in Jerusalem. And here we have Yisrael Rochach, who was mayor of Tel Aviv 1936 through 1953. And this letter is prior to his taking office, so nice early signature there. Next up, we have Yosef Tekoa, who's the 4th ambassador to the UN from Israel in 1968 to 1975, so a tumultuous time to say the least. We have a couple examples of his signature, as well as a photo from when he became the ambassador to the UN. There's a nice press release info on the back of that. Next up, we have Eliyahu Eilat, who was the first U.S. ambassador from 48 to 50, and then served as the ambassador to the U.K. from 50, I believe, to 58 or 59. So this is the card that was signed by the ambassador, and this is the letter that accompanied it in 1958. So interesting little combo there. Next up, we have Menachem Begin, who was the 6th Prime Minister of Israel, 1977-1983. Again, going back to the Samuel Lewis letter, he was part of the Camp David Accords, so the Israeli side. Interesting thing with this letter, or this signature, it's on a envelope, basically saying, for Jimmy Carter's last day in office, and canceled accordingly. So, very simple signature, but didn't have a Begin, finally added a Begin to the collection. A little bit harder here. We have Yitzhak Ben Zvi. You saw his signature before. He was the 2nd president of Israel after Chaim Weizmann. There's a letter from 1959. And last, very simple photo, Colin Powell. Here's a nice inexpensive pickup I added to an order. But obviously the primary bulk of the pickups were Israeli history and politicians, as I'm trying to put a really nice clear picture of the early days of Israel, and also some significant moments during the history of the State of Israel. So those are the signatures that I have, the interesting letters I've been fortunate to grab, and again, a very nice book recommendation if that's of interest to you. But that's what I got for you this time around. And until next time, please remember to collect what you enjoy what you collect, and don't let anybody, especially the market or YouTuber, dictate that to you. And most importantly, have fun. Have fun by being active in this community. So find your way of participating, whether it's making videos, watching and commenting, going to live streams, group chats, going to your LCS or local card show, or simply talking about the hobby with family and friends. The more you put into it, the more you'll get out of it. The more you'll learn, the more your PC will grow, the more people you'll meet, and the more fantastic friendships you'll form. So I thank you very much for joining me. Hope to see you again. Have a good one, and bye for now.